Welcome to part 2 of A Truly Beautiful Mind. Now, you can see in the image there Albert Einstein at the age of 21 sporting the walrus mustache. In the second image, you can see Albert Einstein in 1955 sporting the same walrus mustache. This is how we see and recognize Albert Einstein today. Now, let's move on with part 2 of the lesson. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Merrick, whom he found to be a clever creature. This young serf had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. So Albert Einstein met a young lady called Mileva Merrick, and this lady was from Serb, means Serbia, and she was a fellow student who was one of the few students who came to Europe because it was in this place in the University of Zurich where women could get degrees. So this is again hinting on the fact that women were not that qualified or educated in his times, and few women did get the opportunity to come out and get their degrees. Einstein found her quite interesting and intelligent. Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines, those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. Ally means a friend or an associate. Albert Einstein found in Minerva Merrick a friend and one with whom he can rely and share common interest because both Albert and Minerva had many things in common. Philistines mean a word used disapprovingly to talk about people who do not like art, literature, or music. So Albert Einstein and Minerva got into a strong companionship to fight against the Philistines. And Albert's family too did not like his interest in music or art or literature, but Albert Einstein did find a friend and co-partner in Minerva. Even the people at the university did not support Albert Einstein's taste in music or arts, but Albert and Minerva did not give in. The couple fell in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." So the couple fell in love and exchanged a number of love letters, which have become a treasure today. Now, these love letters are interesting because they were communicated mixing science and tenderness together. Now, an example is given there, how Albert Einstein was trying to show his happiness, how happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. So, Albert Einstein is talking about not only the relationship here, but also about science, about the theory of relativity that both Minerva and Albert were working on together. Moreover, the paragraph also highlights on the kind of language used by Albert and Einstein, though it sounds funny and weird, but it was very meaningful, as if it was a code language between them. At 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Albert Einstein was unemployed at the age of 21. He got an opportunity as a teaching assistant, and after 2 years, he got a break to work as a technical expert in the patent office. Patent is a document which gives the right of an invention to the inventor. While he was supposed to assess other people's inventions and give them patents, but on the contrary, he was also secretly developing his ideas and trying to work on something. Thus, he had jokingly called his desk drawer at work Bureau of Theoretical Physics. In 1905, Albert Einstein presented his famous paper, Special Theory of Relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. They cannot be unrelated. They are related, in fact. Absolute means measured in itself, not in relation to anything. But according to this theory, time and distance are related. And he gives a very good example in the paragraph. Two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey. One of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. Yes, if one was moving fast and the other slow, then obviously they would not be showing the same time after the completion of a journey, even if they started off with the same time in the beginning. From these followed the world's famous formula which describes the relationship between mass and energy, E equal to mc square. Now in mathematical equation, E stands for energy, m for mass, and c for the speed of the light in a vacuum. Now, it's very interestingly described in the next lines. When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. When you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. And that's a relativity according to Albert Einstein in simple way or in simple language. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Albert wanted to marry Minerva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. The reason? Minerva was 3 years older than her son, and she thought she was too old for him. Secondly, she was concerned that Minerva was too intelligent and was like a book like him, and this made her dislike Minerva, and so Einstein decided to put off the wedding. Another very prominent reason was that Albert Einstein's mother belonged to the traditional age and she did not like a very intelligent girl for her son. That's why Minerva's intelligence really troubled her. The couple finally got married in 1903 and had 2 sons. But after a few years, the marriage faltered because Minerva was an ambitious lady and she somehow felt there was something missing in her life. She became an unhappy housewife. And after years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. Soon after his divorce in 1919, Albert married his cousin Elsa the same year. Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. In 1915, he had published his General Theory of Relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution, and it was indeed a great uproar in the scientific world. Thus, Einstein received Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921, and he was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world and lauded by the press. So, Einstein's world had really taken over after 1915.